In this video, I will share with you 5 reasons why men don't pursue women anymore and what to do about it. Reason number 1. So number 1 would be fear of rejection. So I'm talking here more about guys that are in their early 20s. And in your early 20s, some girls are really good looking, some girls are overly confident, and a guy approaches you, he gets his guts to approach you, and he approaches you, and the girls are getting a bit more too prideful and too arrogant, and we reject the guy too tough. And I know I definitely been in these shoes myself when I was in my early 20s. I used to reject guys a lot, and I used to come up with all these kind of ways that were not the most nice ways on how to reject guys. And obviously it ended up having some consequences on these guys, because we were like, okay, if all girls are like that, I'm just not gonna approach them anymore. So number 1, as I said, is the fear of rejection. And ladies, the lesson to learn from this: if you're rejecting a guy, be kind. As if you're not kind, and this is how all women behave, or majority of them, the time will come when men will just be completely fed up, and we're gonna be like, if women behave like this, there is no way I'm gonna pursue her or approach her or suggest anything nice. You want me, you come to me. You don't want me, I'm not gonna make that first move. The reason number 2 might be some men don't approach women because they see it as too disrespectful and too forward. And I find these are the men that usually live more like in UK. For example, in UK, guys are used to dipping the toes into water by making some really light jokes or light conversation, even about the weather, for example. And this would be his light approach, the way a guy would approach a woman. And because we see something like a deep eye contact or a very forward approach as something that is completely inappropriate and disrespectful and just bluntly rude. So in different cultures, men approach women differently. Whereas, let's say in my culture, if a guy wants to approach me, let's say, he could be quite forward. Or I know in other cultures, men are very, very forward. So sometimes all you need to do is just not necessarily approach him, but let him come to you in his way, in his own way. So if he takes like baby steps to approach you, allow him this time and just be patient. If he's forward to approach you, well, then that's easy, right? So yeah, ladies, that's my point. Sometimes all you need to do is just wait and be patient and let him to approach you in his own way. But keep it in mind that some men assume that it's disrespectful and inappropriate, therefore we either just let you go past or we approach you in a very subtle way. And the number 3, so he is told by other men that it's inappropriate to approach women, and he's told by other men, that masculine men, that we do not approach women nowadays, which is completely BS, right? It's just completely ridiculous. But this is what a lot of men are told by other men, and we are basically just recommended to chase their goals, chase their dreams, wear a suit, look really, really good. And that way you will have lots of beautiful women chasing you and approaching you. So basically act like a princess, act like a prize, and you will get lots of masculine women chasing you and approaching you out of desperation or because we're finding you cool, right? Which actually is very true. A lot of women will eventually get desperate and will start to chase you. But is it appropriate? Is it something that men love and want? Or is it just like an ego stroke? And taking now to the point number 4. Number 4 is, unfortunately, women are chasing and pursuing men nowadays. And when we see a guy that's handsome, we have all of this feminist movement that, oh, I can approach him. If a guy can do it, I can do it too, right? And what happens, we shoot ourselves in the foot by approaching men, because then we actually make them feel like he is the prize, he is the princess, and that there is nothing wrong to behave masculine. But what happens, that way men don't fall in love with you, because for a man to fall in love with a woman, he needs to choose you, and he needs to come up with appropriate steps on how to win you over. But when you approach a man first, you kind of take that pleasure away from him, because now, without making any steps, he already has won you over just by his presence. So you become more like a satisfaction for him, more like a helpless, a desperate ego stroke, rather than somebody that he would fall in love with. Because for a man to fall in love, he needs to pursue a woman, he needs to invest into her, he needs to win her over, right? So women, by throwing themselves at men, yes, you might get a guy for a one night stand or for something really short, but he's not gonna fall in love with you because you're not fulfilling his love need, right? So this is where we going wrong as women, by continuously pursuing men, by throwing ourselves at men. And there are lots of apps actually as well that are like created where women need to make the first step, such as like Bumble app, right? And a lot of guys are on Bumble apps because they're like, okay, cool, I can just chill and, you know, and see what women approach me. So with these type of apps, actually there are ways on how you can make the first move without coming across too aggressive. However, I don't recommend personally these apps, because I have way more traditional mindset, because I truly believe that at the end of the day, it's a man that finds his wife. Therefore, he needs to initiate, and he needs to pursue you, and he needs to impress you and do all that traditional courting. Because if you go the other way around, when you set like the wrong standard for dating, and you kind of show a guy that you're happy to wear the pants in this relationship, in this courting, and you kind of make a guy step back and chill and lean in this relationship and kind of behave a bit like a princess, which obviously then long term really backfires, because as a woman you're not getting your needs met, and you're not getting cherished, you're not getting adored, you're not getting appreciated, you don't feel that safety and security that comes when a guy pursues you, when a guy makes you his, when he is showing you that I'm a protector, the provider, and I'm the one who chose you, and I will be there for you, I'll kind of like die for you if needed. But when you're the one who's choosing a guy, you just don't get that level of reassurance. And here comes the number 5. So what can be done about it? What we should do? You know, ladies, even though it's becoming so common that women are chasing and pursuing men, I would still highly recommend for you ladies to wait it out for a guy to make that first move. Because at the end of the day, what's on social media, it's not necessarily so much in the reality, meaning that there are still plenty of traditional guys that love to pursue women. And men that still love to pursue women, I would say that these type of guys are actually the masculine ones, are the ones that women truly want. And the thing with masculine men, the masculine man, they like to choose a woman themselves. They don't appreciate women that choose them, women that approach them and put themselves on a plate for them. They find these women too easy. It's like, what am I gonna do with a woman that's on a plate? And a lot of really masculine men, they reject women like that. And I'm hearing stories from masculine men all the time. For example, Greta, I was in a nightclub. This girl started to rub her bum into me, and I just found it so unattractive. I stepped back. Another guy might say, Greta, I was in a nightclub. This woman approached me, and he said, and I rejected her. And when I rejected her, she actually went to the security and she told the security guy lots of just crazy things about me. So he would kick me out of a nightclub. So it's like, I'm hearing all of these type of crazy stories from guys on how women approach them. And we're just not into that. Masculine men are not into that. What masculine men are into, they are into seeing you, seeing your body language, finding you attractive, and then coming up with ways to approach you. And for him to approach you, to win you over, it creates excitement. It makes you into his goal. And this is what actually masculine men really aim for, because we have a lot of testosterone and we love going for their goals. If you're not his goal, if you put yourself on a plate for him, he gets turned off very quickly. He's like, it's too easy. You just don't appreciate what's too easy, what's on a plate for you. A woman might appreciate that because she doesn't have that much testosterone, right? But a man, a masculine man with lots of testosterone, he does not appreciate that. He takes it automatically for granted, right? This is actually where the biggest relationship issues come up. The biggest relationship issues come up with Greta, a guy is taking me for granted. Why is a man taking a woman for granted? Because a woman starts to pursue him too much. A woman starts to go out of her way too much. And then the guy starts to take her for granted and he's chilling and not doing anything and he's getting bored. So this is exactly what happens when a woman pursues a man. How many stories have you seen online where a woman proposed to a man and a man said yes? Like maybe 1 in 100. Majority of men are so appalled for this behavior, towards this behavior. They find it so highly unattractive. So it's exactly the same way when a woman pursues a guy and approaches him. This is exactly how he feels. He's appalled by that. So ladies, my point, no matter what the society is pushing you to do, don't do the wrong thing. Sometimes, the society is pushing you to do everything wrong, and all the people are going and doing that wrong thing. However, just because everyone's going towards that movement, it still doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. Stand out and do the right thing. And I promise you, a masculine man will appreciate it and will find you and will approach you and will sweep you off your feet. And you're gonna be the only one from this whole crowd that's actually having a happy, healthy relationship that's actually worth to pursue and enjoy and be in, rather than just settling for something just because he's a man, right? So ladies, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think? Share it with the other ladies that need it. I have lots of videos for sale, such as how to stay attractive via text, how to go from single to a happy, healthy relationship, how to get your ex back. I have a high value woman course for sale. And if you would actually like me to coach you privately by holding your hand and guiding you each step of the way on the relationship problems you're experiencing, or how to get into happy and healthy relationship, or maybe you have marriage problems. I coach lots of women that are married as well, because a lot of women maybe behave correctly in the beginning when we get married, and when we start to slack off and we start to experience all sorts of problems. So whatever problems you're having, I coached at least 3,000 women for one-on-one, so I'm highly experienced. Book me for a session and I'll help you out. All the links will be in my video description box below. Love you loads. Have an amazing day, and like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments below that you enjoyed this video. Lots of love. Bye, ladies.